Hey everyone, it is Chris with Spy Living, and today let's have a talk about investments. So on Monday, it was April 15th, and I got my deposits in for my retirement programs. And yesterday I started doing my investments, and it got me thinking about when I first started out and how difficult it was and how easy it is now for new investors to get started. So I wanted to share with you 4 distinct ways that you can get started investing either with little money or very easily. Now, obviously, if you work for a company and they have a 401k program, it's going to be the easiest way for you to get started. Now, a lot of companies are actually doing what's called negative enrollment these days, where they automatically enroll you unless you specifically tell them, no, I don't want to. So probably the simplest, easiest way to do it, because you don't actually have to do anything. The only thing you need to do, and I recommend you do this, is to take a look at what they put you in fund-wise. Because even though they do negative enrollment, they normally just put you in the safest money market fund available. And most likely you want to go into something like, a broad stock market index fund, depending on your retirement age. So that's the first one to do it. Now, if they provide a company match, then that is a no-brainer to at least get the match if you can't. What I recommend, what I wish I would have done myself, is actually to max out how much you put into your 401k. You'd be surprised how little it takes out of your actually take-home paycheck and how quickly those balances can grow over time. Now, if you don't think you can afford to actually do the max, at least do enough if your company has a company match to go ahead and get that, because that's essentially free money. Now, the second is, again, if you work for a company, and if you work for a public company or a company that has an employee stock purchase program. Now, I was lucky enough to work for 3 companies that had an employee stock purchase program, and the way that worked is they would do payroll deduction, and every 6 months they would take those payroll deductions and purchase shares in the company. Now, I was even especially lucky that all the companies I worked for gave you a 15% discount off the share price when they purchase it. So if your company has something like that, not only should you be participating, you should be maxing that thing out, because essentially, if it's done like I said, with a 15% discount purchase every six months, you're looking at almost a 70% return automatically just from the discounts. And I'll leave a link below to an article that discusses this. But yes, you're getting a 70% return if you sell it the next day. Even higher if you decide to hold on to it. But that is a no-brainer if your company has it. In fact, I personally would actually borrow money to make sure I can max it out. The return is that good. Now, the third way is a simple, kind of traditional way. Open up a discount brokerage account. Now, it used to be you needed, at least $1,000, or in some case $10,000 to actually open up one of these accounts. But Fidelity in 2018 decided, nope, we're going to do no minimums for account openings, no minimums for investing in funds, and Charles Schwab quickly followed suit. So any of those two, Fidelity or Schwab, will allow you to open an account quite small. So again, scrounge up $100 and get started, and then if every month you can direct deposit in $50, but at the end of the year, that's another $600 you've deposited into it. And at $50 a month, I think everyone can kind of find $50 a month, whether it's recycling cans, whether it's birthday money, whether it's rebates you get back on things. There's a lot of ways for you to be able to put that money into the market. And again, do what I did, just go into a broad stock market fund if you're just starting out. S&P 500, total stock market fund, both of those companies have it. And in fact, I have accounts at both Fidelity and Schwab. Either one of them work fantastic. Whichever one works for you. And finally, this is how I actually started out before I had enough money for a brokerage account, and it's a direct stock purchase program. Now, a ton of Fortune 500 companies will allow you to directly purchase stock from the transfer agent. Some can be as little as $250 or $100, and some will even cover all the startup costs. ExxonMobil is a typical example. They require a minimum $250 investment, but they cover all the commission costs and the setup costs. Or if you don't have $250, as long as you do 5 installments of $50 a month, you can get started owning Exxon shares. And the great thing is, you don't need a brokerage account to do it. You just do it through the transfer agent. Now, there is more risk associated with this because you've got single stocks. But if you buy high quality stocks, do dividend reinvestment, this is another way for you to get started purchasing shares. Now, as you can imagine, this is not an exhaustive list of ways to get started investing, but these are 4 simple ways that I've done myself when it came time to get started investing. And I'll leave links below to all of these different things that you can do. And maybe, again, if you can just kind of scrounge up 50 or $100, I recommend it starting as early as possible because that compounding interest really makes things grow fast. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of confidence to get started and be able to start investing for the future. Now, if you have some other ideas that you want to recommend to people that are really simple to understand and really simple to get started, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. So that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you get a lot out of this video. It's a really short one, but I want to encourage people to actually start thinking for the future. You know, if it wasn't for the investments that I did, I never would have been able to leave the corporate world and to strike out on my own like I am right now. So go ahead, check out the links below and get started, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.